Yeah. And then also, there's anyway, there are many other stories in the Bible, which these are just pure jabber tales, pure jabber tales. Yeah. The Bible doesn't make sense. In there's so many ways that they contradict. Even look at the doctrines of salvation themselves. Salvation itself, this idea of salvation. Okay, John 3 will tell you, believe me, believe in me, and you will be saved. Right? But if you go to the book of Revelation on the day of judgment, people are not judged on the basis of believing. It's based on what you did or didn't do. There's a book of life, and other books were open, and people were judged in accordance with what they had done. So, which is it? Is it about believing in Jesus, or is it about doing good things? Which is it? You know, again, you cannot say it's about doing good things and ignore Jesus. Then it means Jesus is not God. It means Jesus was lying. It means Jesus is nothing. But at the same time, if you look at Jesus and ignore what the books are saying about the day of judgment, you still have another problem. It means then the revelation is a lie. You know? So where do you stand? And this is a whole big debate that has brought a lot of divisions amongst the different denominations. Some who believe in the sola scriptura, sola gratia. Salvation is by grace alone, through faith alone, in Christ alone. Right? Then the others, like the Catholics who mix faith and works, they also believe there's also the works, because one thing with the Catholics is that they take a comprehensive, wide approach. They pick all the contradictions and they all merge it into one thing. But now this thing brings also divisions. How do you, what does it mean to be saved? Another question I always asked, if Jeffrey Epstein repented 5 minutes before he died, will he enter heaven?
Yes.
Yes, according to John 3.
According to the Bible.
According to John 3, the believing thing, yes, he will enter.
Even
PDD will enter according to John 3.
Yes.
But Revelation says people are judged in accordance with what they've done. So according to Revelation, he will not enter. But according to John 3, he will enter. So where are we? And then even that whole idea of at believe, maybe that's why I said the Bible is wicked. Even that Jesus, this thing of believing, and then you are forgiven of your sins, those things, that thing is crazy. If Jeffrey Epstein spent his life allegedly eating human beings, right?
Sad, I've seen some
of
those files.
He repents 5 minutes before he goes to die. This God will accommodate Epstein sitting at the same table with the people he ate together at the same time in heaven. Epstein, like I can, it means I can eat you, and then I can just repent 5 minutes before, and I'll join you in heaven, and we'll be sitting at the same place before God. Are you seeing the wickedness behind this thing? It's crazy. How? Which kind of a God is that? That's why I say this God is a figment of human imaginations. Yeah, and wicked people create wicked ideas, and they project those things as God. Yeah. The idea of that you can be forgiven. Imagine somebody creating a God like that, who just allows people to go scot-free no matter what they've done, so long as you just repent and believe.
But see, in reality, if you committed an offense and come and even ask forgiveness during the court process, the process still has to go through the entire process, and the judgment has to be pronounced by the bench.
Yeah.
So you think that that's the way God should also work?
Logic demands that if I stole your goat, I restore your goat and I pay interest for what I stole. Justice is about restoring. Okay?
Yes.
You restore somebody to where they were before the offense took place, as far as is humanly possible. That's a that's not taking responsibility for yourself. Taking responsibility for your actions. That if I offend you, I have a duty towards you to come back and repent. If there's any way I can make things okay, if you whatever you demand, again, the offended party, you want to tell me what you would like done. And after that, if you decide to talk to me afterwards or not, that ball is entirely in your court as the offended party. But now here comes Christianity. At the time, the other cheek, you who is offended, you must forgive me, or you will go to hell. The offended party must forgive or go to hell. And then this other one is forgiven and can get away scot-free. That's crazy. But that's what Christianity presents. It's a very naive. In fact, it's designed by wickedness to protect the wicked. Because you, the offended, you're told you must forgive or you go to hell. You've come, you've stolen from me. You've destroyed my business. And you're telling me I must forgive you, or I'll the one who will end up in hell and you go to heaven because you believed. What kind of a system is that? That's crazy.
So how does forgiveness look like for you from your context?
First of all, forgiveness is entirely in the ball of the that ball is in the court of the offended person. Right? So for example, let's say you've stolen my goat, right? You've restored my goat. You've paid me an interest, and you've also taken effort to calm me, because of course you've offended me, right? I might decide later on, after you've restored me, I can decide later on that, you know what, by the way, maybe he's not such a bad guy. Maybe he was just hungry that day, right? But you cannot tell me to forgive you. You've not restored. You've not,
You've not shown some
no, you've not
deliberate
shown
efforts.
some responsibility. And that's what I like about deconstructing Christianity, is that it brings you to a point of responsibility. Christianity negates responsibility. That's what it negates, responsibility for wrongdoing. Yeah. So yeah, it's about being responsible, and now knowing that whatever wickedness you project out to the world, it's gonna come back to you.
So
Yeah.
you think like that's just the power of belief. That's
It's a delusion. The religious delusion.
so with that, the power that now they have, and now they're controlling our thoughts on belief. Is that what is now making you believe that a God does not exist? The systems are just happening. Things are just happening. Things are just
No,
working.
my reason for believing there's no God is because there's no evidence. There's no you cannot substantiate the existence of a God. What method will you use?
But can you substantiate that there is no God?
Now the onus is on. Okay, again, this is a logical argument. Okay, if I say there is a bottle, and you say there is no bottle, the onus is on me to prove. The one who's giving the is statement is the one the onus belongs. The onus belongs to the person who's saying there is a God, to prove the existence of that God. You cannot tell somebody that there is a God, and when they object, they tell you until you prove there is no God, there is a God. You see, that's.
But see,
that's
they're already offering proof that there is God by
How?
giving, including themselves as the evidence that there is God, leave alone the universe and the rest. But now that they are telling maybe you or even the other members of the atheist society, you continue to debunk that, to contest that. So I think that through that contesting that, it could have been better for you now to come and say, yes, now there is no God and this is not my evidence. Understand the way, even in a court of law, the way it works. He who alleges must prove.
Yeah.
So I've alleged that there's God, and I've proved, according to me, given my evidence, that me, I'm a living proof that there is God. But being that I presented that evidence, you've rebutted. So say that my evidence is weak.
Yeah, the evidence is weak.
Yes.
The evidence
Then,
is weak. Yes.
at your point of now, not rebutting on what I say. The matter is that there is God or there is no God. I've alleged there is God, and I've offered my evidence. Now you said there is no God. So you have to continue the conversation and say, sure, that now there is no God.
Okay.
And this is my
Now,
evidence.
again, my saying there is no God is a rebuttal to the idea that there is God.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So the argument is there is God.
Yes.
So there is no God is a counter argument to there is God.
Yes.
Okay? Now the person who they're saying there is, the evidence that has been presented is that my own existence, the existence of this world, is the evidence for a God. Now, is that evidence? We have to look at that evidence. Okay? We have to look at that evidence.
Yes.
And the evidence is that the creation, the magnificence of the universe is evidence of. But how do you know that? Okay, nobody was there in the beginning, first of all. It could be that there were just forces in play. Maybe it was not even a God. Maybe it was just forces. Maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe it was an accident. Or maybe it was a group of gods. Or maybe it was a unicorn. Or maybe it was Santa Claus. So, out of all the possibilities, again, out of all the speculations that are possible in the beginning, how did you arrive at one God? You see, now we have a problem with the evidence. Okay. Now, again, on my end, arguing from the argument of there is no God. Now, again, it's like trying to tell me that prove that unicorns are not real, or try to prove to me, tell me that Santa Claus is not real. Why do you start?
Yeah.
Because that's a thing. That's a delusion. That's a dream. That's something that somebody made up. Okay. So this is an argument called non-falsifiability. That's what the religion depends on. Non-falsifiability. Like right now, if I tell you above your head, I'm seeing the spiritual realm. Above their head, there is a big animal. It's about to vomit on you, right? the onus is on me to prove that that animal exists.
Yes.
It's not on you to prove that it doesn't exist. It's on me to prove, because I'm the one with the claim. You understand?
Yes.
And then this thing is used for grifting, this spiritual realm.
But
I tell
you can also be wrong that for me to prove that that's the way, I just look at this.
No, me, I'm
You
telling
said
you, you
there's
cannot
none.
see it, you cannot touch it, you cannot smell it. It's in the spirit realm. It's in the spirit realm. But me, who has spiritual eyes, I'm seeing it. That's how religion operates. Me, has spiritual eyes, I can see it. And then now it's used for grifting. I tell you, you know what? That animal is about to vomit on you. The only way for you to stop it is put money here. Give me money, I pray for you. You see, that's how the spiritual realm is used. You cannot see it, you cannot smell it, you cannot touch it, you cannot prove it, but it's treated as if it's something real. Right? So the onus is on they who claim that these things are true to tell us. How do you know that? How do you measure it? How do you know it? Yeah.
So I want us to look into something else that I know will also fascinate you, the phenomenon on the childless millennials.
Yeah. Who does not have a child. Okay. Now there's a difference between childless and child-free. I hope you know the difference. The child-free people are people who've chosen to never have kids. They're the ones who go tying their tubes. They're the ones who go having vasectomies. The ones who, even if they got $1 million, circumstances, even if they change, they'd never have kids. And I'm not that kind of a person. For me, it's childless. It's not from not wanting or not desiring. It's that the environmental circumstances are limiting. Okay? So this idea of the childless millennial, another thing I've come to observe and to believe is true is that the only people who truly understand you and the challenges and the struggles you're going through are the people of your generation.
Okay.
Yeah, the people of the older generation, they have their own struggles, and the younger ones, they're insulting us. The Gen Z are calling us shosho. We are being called wahenga, you know. Yeah. So I'm realizing that we are many of us millennials who are childless, or whatever situation you find yourself truly. But now we are not also using logic, right? So you find a lot of millennials are being taken advantage of by preachers who come and do arranged marriages. You've heard of this thing, uliotewa bibi. The Lord has spoken. You're given somebody. You don't even know if that person is a thief or a whatever they are. You're told God has said this is your wife.
Yeah.
And people marry. You see that stupid thing. Eh? So I was applying that logic to the concept of having children, because the way that us millennials have grown up, if you look at how we've grown up, the generations before us faced different challenges from our own. Right? And we're also observing that those who have one child are refusing to have a second or a third, or people are just not having kids, right? And you have to ask yourself why. What are the environmental factors? And basically, it was just about me coming to understand from a global perspective, really, what's happening with the millennial group. And it's even worse with the Gen Z, right? Yeah, so the idea of religion pushing us, this thing for multiply and fill the earth. It's your duty before the Lord.
Yes.
And children are a blessing from God.
Yes.
The hell. Of all things, this God can bless us with. Of all things, we have cancer patients.
Yes.
We have floods, we have droughts, tsunamis are happening, bushfires are happening, we have droughts, even inconsistent rains. Of all the blessings, more mouths to feed.
Sure.
No. Let's call the spade a spade. Babies are the result of reproduction, of men and women getting together without birth control. That's where babies come from. Yeah, babies come from reproduction. Babies are it's a decision, it's a choice. Right? The unfortunate thing with the religion is that it gives you this bandwagon thinking, let's do it because this is what people are supposed to be doing, right? But you're not thinking individually to look at your circumstances and your situation. And again, having a child is not just anybody can give birth. It doesn't take intelligence. Anybody can give birth. Anybody can give birth. But being a responsible parent takes a lot of considerations, a lot of planning. And then again, this person you're giving birth to, where will they go? Where will they go? Once they finish school, we are seeing Gen Z already on the street rioting. They don't have jobs. Factories were closed. Nowadays, everybody is a hawker. Everybody is selling something on the roadside. That's how we are surviving. There are no systems in place to make sure that people have actually somewhere to go. So the system takes out of people but doesn't give back to them. It takes out of you because education, the expense of education and raising the child falls on the parent. Right? But in the end, when you have so many poor people, who is benefiting if not the system? Because they have people they can keep working for so many long hours for next to no pay, okay? But throughout the education of the child, the parent paid millions for the education of that child. for the feeding of that child, for the clothing of that child, the housing of that child. I always say that the religion is the wife of the government. By the way, there is no God. The only God who exists is the government of the day.
That's the God.
That's the God that there is. It's the government of the day managing people through religion. So the religion tells you up front, multiply and fill the earth. Why? The system needs more workers. You need people to give you cheap labor. And it's also profitable to have more children. To who? To the schools, to the churches. Because again, I also talked about how our sex lives are commercialized. Yeah. Those things in churches of artistry, you are a fornicator, you are living with a woman who's not your wife, you're a fornicator. The difference between a fornicator and a married people is a certificate, which you have to just pay some 5,000. That's the difference.
The mandates and the...
Yeah, ni walifika bei. The married people ni bei walifika. Bei ya kufanya wedding. That's all there. That's the only... It's not like at theirs is more holy. No. It's not like at when they're in bed, what they are releasing there is anointing oil. No. Yeah, they give spams like others. Sex is sex. Come on. Let's be honest. Yeah. Let's be honest. The difference between holy sex and unholy sex is a certificate of 5,000. And then you also have to pay the pastor for marriage counseling. For the do you know even churches charge you for the hall? If you're marrying, they charge you for the hall itself. Hey, churches have cartels. You've seen those cartels in church. Every church has the lady who does cakes. There's the lady who does tents and events in church. There's the lady of flowers. There's the lady of sounds. There's the people of what? Deco, makeup. It's a cartel of people to make business out of the young people. So what do? They see two people there in the church dating. Oh, don't fornicate. Don't fornicate. Don't. Marry. Do you know marriage certificate, by the way? I came to realize this quite recently. When Esther Musila was sued by her son.
Yes.
That marriage certificate does not mean that a man's properties are his wife's property.
Yeah, I saw that in the judgment.
Yeah. A marriage certificate doesn't mean that the man's property, like if you have a piece of land and you marry a woman, the land does not belong to her. If you die,
if you acquired it together.
If her name is appearing on the title deed, or if you write a will that wills that property to her. Yeah. Otherwise, the land belongs to your children. Okay. And your children is not necessarily the ones she gave birth to you for. Even anyone from anywhere who you impregnated, you didn't know about, they can come and say, and if they can prove that they're your child, they can evict her from the house because her name is not on the property. Yeah. So this thing of marriage certificate is another big hoax. It doesn't mean that you're secure. A woman in her old age can be evicted out of the home where she lived with her husband because she never owned the property.
Okay, so it doesn't. You cannot appear with the marriage certificate and say that we
because you are his wife, not their property is yours. No, don't work like that. Don't work like that. Yeah. No. So this thing is biashara. This thing is biashara. Think of how many young people are there being pressured to go do a G wedding. What at the end of the day, the person giving you the license for the marriage is the government. So it's just another revenue stream for the government. That's all it is. I am more to it. No, the religion just comes to program you so that you take the certificate, right? So that your mind, you feel like I've pleased God, blah blah blah. But it's still the same. And then when the baby is born, the church tells you, "Oh, this baby is born in sin because all are born sinners. We watch this baby, we must baptize, we must dedicate, and dedication you pay.
Yeah, you pay.
More business. The church has built a school. Yeah, no. And by the way, when I was growing up, serious. Churches built by schools used to be very affordable back in the day.
Yeah, sure.
They used to be, but today, there's
like
no difference between them and private schools. It's the same thing. Yeah. So it's business. When you told multiply and fill the earth, until God has joined together, let no man place a sand. All that is romantic nonsense. Even those in the marriage are committing adultery and sleep. Let me tell you, but another thing, the other delusion that marriage certificates gives people is the idea that you can own a human being.
Some form of legitimacy, entitlement, and
you're entitled to another human being as if they're your slave. Yeah, the person. Again, let me also ask this question: like, do you honestly think that a woman who is married can be raped by her husband?
The woman can be left by the
raped. Yes.
Yeah, I think
marital rape is a thing, but for a vast majority, they're like, after all, I paid goats for her. After all, she's my wife. I can't rape my wife. People reason like that. But that's what the marriage certificate and the goat system. Again, the traditional goat system is another one. Which, Until now, I'm standing somewhere. I'm sitting somewhere in an event. My parents are inside there with my in-laws. They're discussing my worth in goats.
Your butter trail.
Hey, mimi hiyo kitu. At your father, the idea that women are born as slaves, that you can be sold by your father. And women who want to be single, they have to buy themselves out. That is a wrong thinking. This concept of people believing that they have rights over other human beings. That you married somebody doesn't mean that their will is not present, even throughout the marriage. They have to continuously choose you, and you choose them. You know?
That is true.
But people who are married also divorce when they separate because along the way, one of them stopped choosing the other. Yeah. Does that mean the marriage certificate is now cast in ink and stone? You know? This is business.
Yes.
It's a business, right? So when you come now back to the childless millennial, like we look through all these things and we reason it out and we're like, mm-mm. And then there's the concept of also the economics for us millennials. Most of us are renting houses. A good number of us have been fortunate enough to actually establish and build and do their own things, right? But for the vast majority of us, we're still living in rented houses. That's the truth, right? I remember one of my cousins, he has multiplied and filled the earth. And
20 kids.
Okay, not 20, but in today's world, even 3 kids is to multiply. The guy has 5. This has 5 kids as a millennial. Biological ones, yes. Yeah. And the guy tells me, Kiki, what's up? And I told him, like,
unaweka traffic hapa.
Nini ni shida? Ama nitukutafutie moto. I'm like, and I told him, Mr. Zachokora.
So what are you waiting for? I think I
What do you mean
chokora?
No, Mr. Zachokora. Yeah. For so long as you're renting a house, you're a homeless person. Until you have land, what is your business having a child?
So you're waiting to have a piece of land and build something
security.
there first.
You need that security of a space, a home, because where is this children's home?
But sometimes people, you even get this, you acquire all these things and still can lose them.
Land.
Including land.
Unless you are conned or somebody cons you, or
yes, you can be
but
conned.
Land doesn't move.
You can be conned. An illness that is just beyond can result in.
Now nobody knows tomorrow.
All those things.
Nobody knows tomorrow. But that doesn't mean we should throw caution to the wind and be reckless at multiplication without planning.
But don't you think that's an abundance of caution to the extent that for you
No. No, it's not abundance of caution. It is caution. Because you can even die. Where will these kids go? Me, I watched my cousin, by the way. Her mother, the mother was a single mother, and the mom passed away. And I watched all her things being pulled out of that house. And the girl was literally, they sold everything, and the girl was taken to her uncle's place. You're giving birth to squatters. You know, let me tell you, there's a collective problem of poverty in Africa. Let's be honest. And we're still having this bandwagon thinking of let's just multiply and multiply. You're giving back to poor people you've not planned for, organized for, you know. Are we giving, what kind of a people are we bringing to this world? And the unfortunate thing is that the older generation, the boomers and the Gen Xers, basically our parents' generation, and the generations before them.
Yes.
When you go through the rites of passage, in Kikuyu you talk of somebody becoming mwanake. Mwana, my son, here. Here is the space where you can build for yourself, and you pick matope and you build the house. You pick grass, you thatch the roof, you have a house.
You transition to a man now.
Exactly. It was part of the rites of passage that a person, your parents, the ancestors before you, they have actually left you an inheritance which you can use to take care of your people. The rites of passage was also about wealth distribution. It was not just about becoming a man. It was also about distributing wealth, making sure that everybody is provided for. That if you have a child, this child has a place to call their home. But that generation of the people who are there, the boomers and the Gen Xers, the people who are there during the colonial time and the reign of the church, let me call it that way, right? And the mosque.
Yes.
That generation, they changed the rites of passage from happening in the traditional way to the hospital way, right?
Yes.
But the wealth distribution was cut off. So you can find Amze in his 70s, 80s. That guy has tracts and tracts and tracts of land. He has wealth and properties. But his sons are renting houses in the city. Yeah? They've gone off, wengine walienda Mombasa, and the man has land. And then now here comes this other person called Ndindi Nyoro. And there's this trend now. They're telling people sell the land and buy shares, buy bonds,
money market funds.
Money market funds.
Yes.
Are you not seeing that you're entering another colonization? Who is buying in this land? Is it not the foreigners, the Israelis coming here to buy land? Foreigners are buying Kenyan land. Our Kenyan land is that precious. We are entering another colonization and people are not seeing it. We're entering colonization round 2. Because the older generation have sat on the land. Okay. They will not allow the younger people who are working to develop the land.
The way the Nyoro speaks about this thing, I've been seeing a lot of point in it. I've also been trying to consider disposing some of the things I have to enter into the same investment.
What we're talking about is homes.
Or to selling your children's homes.
Exactly, because we are trying to evade poverty. Okay? And part of the cause for poverty is not having land. Because when you have a title deed, you can even take a loan and establish a business. When you have a title deed, but now when you're talking about people renting apartments at affordable housing, you're living on a 12-story building, you're living on the 11th floor. The title deed, you don't have it. You're still a squatter. You're still a squatter. And then the people who actually own the land, they're being told to sell it. Who is buying that land? This is a program.
But it can be leased. Let's say, for example, for all those affordable housings.
My friend, watu wanaibiangwa shamba mkio. You sign lease agreement. We know how the courts are. The only insurance that you have is if the older generation allowed the millennials to develop the land. Right? Okay. The other thing is that the church also programmed our parents with that fear of death. You know the fear of death? Right? They feel like writing a will or like subdividing the land when they're still alive is them signing a death sentence.
Yeah.
They feel like I'm dying. It's like now it's my final wishes.
Sometimes even the people to whom you're wishing them through the will to inherit these items might unalive you before even your time comes. The moment you mention that I'll be inheriting a piece of land somewhere, and you're still alive. No.
I honestly believe subdivision of land is better done when the parent is still alive, so that if there are any disputes, for example,
he can be able to preside
over them.
Yes.
He can restitute them. He can find a way. He can even redistribute when people are still alive. You know, and it's better done earlier when these people still have the money. Now you have people living in rented houses. People want to live to bigger. You're spending all your money moving to a bigger house. Mtu anatoka nyumba ya 25,000, you want to move to the 50,000 house in Kilimani. The next time, now you've seen another bigger penthouse, you want a penthouse suite where you're paying 20,000. The next time, and you're a squatter. You're a squatter. You're not. That's not your home. That's not where you are from. That is just for status and class. Meanwhile, the land is lying idle. And you know, in Kenya, by the way, if you settle on somebody else's land for 12 years, that land becomes yours. Yeah. So what are you talking about? The older generation is sitting on the land. They are refusing to do the transfer to the younger generations. Yeah. And then foreigners come to tell you sell the land. Another thing is this thing of buying bonds and stocks and what happens if there's a market crash?
There's normally no reverse gear. So now you can be able to recover.
Market crash.
It's a total loss.
You know, land. The beauty with land is that it's not a piece of paper.
It's not a piece of paper.
You sold land, you've taken all the money, you've given to somebody, they've given you a piece of paper. And then after that, they put you in the management program. Every month will be giving you 30,000. And you think you've achieved something very big. You've lost the land. You have lost the land. And you have able-bodied men, young men who can actually come there and do something meaningful. Another thing is that the older generation, there's this propaganda in churches. They always think of younger people as irresponsible and reckless. They have that mentality of siwezi peo kijana shamba.
Maybe the majority of the young people have also demonstrated that they are not so trustworthy.
That is a very simple thing to handle, by the way. Very simple. You know what the Nigerians do? For example, you've gone to your uncle, you're asking for 5 million. You want to put a business. You would just be given the whole 5 million, right? They'll give you milestones. You're told, fine, you 5 million is approved, but we'll divide this project of yours into stages. And every stage will give you 500,000. If you achieve this one, we'll give you another 500. You manage that person, right? So, as much as there's a fear of the parents because maybe you've seen your child, and again, any child has done stupid things in life. All children have done stupid because you're not born knowing anything. We've all done stupid things. But when you use the foolishness of childhood against somebody, when you're talking about millennials, these are people who are now in their 30s, Between millennials now are between 30 years and 46 years.
True.
Do you think they're doing the same stupid things they were doing when they were 15 and 16?
Very true.
That person is not the same person they were 10 years ago, but the parent holds that against you, right? When they're saying you broke my thermos, do you know you're the one who streamed a flat screen TV? They have a file and a record of all the things you did as a child.
Yes.
Yeah, like,
That actually
surely-
shows whether or not you are responsible. But